Hello everyone, Earl Henderson, Primordial Defense. Thank you for watching. I have another Monday quarterback video for you. I'm going to play this video and talk about things that are going on and better explain what's going on and talk about things that I think that are being done right and or done wrong. This is not a shooting video. This is more of a, a video of dealing with a bad guy. There is a small amount of use of force, but nothing major. But the video itself I thought was interesting to illustrate some of the people that law enforcement have to come into contact with, and also the type of people that security has to come into contact as well. There are some people out there in this world who are just walking colostomy bags, and I'll let the video speak for itself. Without further ado, here we go.
Hello.
All right, so I'll back this up real quick. Look at the tires on this vehicle. They're gone. It's just the rim left. So this dude was trying to get on the interstate like this, and he was stopped.
Hello.
How you doing?
Deputy Wilson with the Sheriff's Office. You got a driver's license on you?
Yeah.
Go ahead, step out of the car for me, man. You alright? No. Step out of the car.
I'm sorry.
Your foot's on the gas.
Accidentally, yeah.
Okay. Do you know that you've been driving on the rim of your car here?
Yeah, unfortunately, that's my only way to go.
Did you get in a car accident?
I hit a curb. That's actually really weird. I hit a curb, and I guess I hit the curb kind of hard, but I wouldn't have expected the damage to be so bad.
65, 60.
I hit the curb the same way, like
Do we have any signal 3s recently?
the same way you might hit a curb by accident. But, honestly, if you ask me, I think somebody put a curse on it, because that was
So when the officer got on the radio to the dispatcher and asked if there's any recent signal 3s, I'm not 100% sure what their signal 3 stands for. TENCOs and signals all across the nation mean different things, but due to him talking about an accident and then him asking if there's been any recent signal 3s, I think that for them, signal 3 means vehicle accidents.
I hit the
44, probably somewhere between 200 and the interstate here. It's going to be a black SUV. Severe damage to the driver's side. No rims or tires left.
I hit the curb a little hard, but there's no reason for with both tires. I hit the curb before.
Alright. Go ahead and hop out for me, man.
Am I trouble right now?
Just hop out for me right now. Do you have anything on you, any guns or anything like that?
No.
Alright, just turn around for me. I'm going to pat you down. I'm not going to search you. Just put your hands up there for me.
Pocket knife.
Okay, that's fine. Okay. Alright. Come back here for me. Lean up against my... Well, we gotta address a few things. Lean up against my bumper right here. Just set your stuff right here.
I was thinking this should be more of a help size.
Help situation?
Yeah.
Okay. We'll get there. Just one second.
Timestamp is 4:02. So there's not that much of that time difference. But in the short amount of time that time lapse occurred, of course, another deputy arrives.
Suddenly,
Where are you coming from? Driving around.
Yeah, I drive. Because of COVID, I stay inside all day.
Have you had anything to drink today?
No.
No? Do you need ambulance for anything?
65, 68, 64, 23, and step 46.
I mean, I was asleep at the gas station.
Come over here for me.
It's just because I gave up on trying to get my car to work.
All right. Shadow people. All right, sir. How do you say your last name?
6328, go ahead.
Orjuela.
All right. You haven't had anything to drink tonight?
You should be on it.
Do me a favor. Let's take your hat off. I'm going to run you through some field sobriety exercises. Do you agree to take those with me?
7527.
No, but
You understand that if you
Do it again.
take those with do me a favor. Let's take your hat off. I'm going to run you through some field sobriety exercises. Do you agree to take those with me?
7527.
no, but
That look of, oh, I'm fucked.
You understand that if you You okay?
I got stuff in my boots.
Well, you almost fell over there.
It's because these things make it.
Okay, listen. I suspect that you're impaired, and now I'm asking you to perform some field sobriety exercises out here tonight.
Right, but that wouldn't prove anything. That's just you being like a bald head white guy.
Is that right? Look at your car. I watched you from there
That's paranormal.
drive up trying to get on the interstate. So,
That's paranormal.
right. Look at your car. I watched you from there
That's paranormal.
drive up
Paranormal activity. Yeah, it sure is.
trying to get on the interstate. So,
Right, because I'm trying to get home. It's do or die, man. What do you think I'm gonna do? I'm gonna sleep out here?
go ahead.
Is that what you want me to do? Would that be logical behavior for you? How about next time I light my car on fire over in the fucking median over there, and I lay down here and I take a nap, and I just call that my life. You know what I mean?
I suspect that you're impaired.
No, you don't. You're just racist.
And if you don't submit to some of these exercises, you're going to end up going to jail tonight.
I feel like I'm gonna go to jail anyways because you're racist. I mean, just look at you, man.
I'm not having the games out here this morning.
It's not a
Look
game.
at your
That's real
car.
talk, bro.
Do you
This
understand?
is serious,
Do you
dog.
understand how serious this is?
Do you understand how serious this is?
So you're going to refuse. You're not going to take any of these tests. It's
I
very
didn't say
simple.
I didn't
All
say
you
I
have
was
to
gonna
do,
refuse.
they're
I'll
very
take the
simple
test.
exercises. We'll run you through them.
I'll take
They
the
help
test.
me determine signs of impairment.
I'll take the test, man. But you're
not
playing
a
mad
test.
dumb for a cop. This is
Is that right?
serious.
All right. So are you ready? Yes or
All
no?
right. I'll take the test. But know this:
This isn't a bargain. I'm not out here to bargain with you, man.
I'm not bargaining either. I told you I was gonna take the test.
All right.
I'm not asking
Do me a
anything
favor.
from you. I'm just
Step over
letting you
here for
know. I'm giving you information.
You set your hat down.
I'm giving you information.
Step over here for me.
If you mess with me right now,
Sir, we're not going to stand out here all morning. Set your hat down for me so we can start running through some of these exercises.
it's gonna
okay?
take about 5 seconds from you say, if you mess with me right now, let me tell you
All right,
something,
do me a
man.
favor.
I'm gonna break your head
Put
with
your-
a baseball bat.
Oh, is that right?
If you fuck this up.
Is that right?
If you fuck this up.
What did you say?
If you fuck this up.
Step over here for me.
if you fuck this up, because you're on a warning right now with your bald head and your white skin.
See that yellow line right there? Go
Warning.
stand on that yellow line.
Stand right here, sir.
You too now.
Yellow line.
Accomplice, head honcho. You messed this up. You messed this up, man.
Put your feet together for
You
me.
messed this up, I'm gonna break your head with a baseball bat.
Put your feet together
So
for
you
me.
better keep your shit straight. Sheriff.
Toes together.
What's your name?
Toes together.
What's your name?
Put your feet and toes together for me,
What's
sir.
your name?
Arms down by your side.
So you're the ghost, huh?
Do me a favor.
You're the ghost Nazi?
Take a look at the tip of this pen.
I'm gonna fucking skin you alive if you fuck this up.
Take a look at the tip of this
You better
pen.
do this shit by the book, you hear me? What's your name?
We'll get there. Deputy Wilson, Marion County Sheriff's Office.
I can't even see. I
Take
can't
a
even
t-
see that. I
Take
can't
a
even
look at
see
the
it.
tip of
Let
this
me
pen
see it.
for me.
Let me see your
Sir,
name
we're not
tag.
going to stand out here all night. You understand that if you refuse to do these exercises, you're going to go to jail.
Do you understand that you look like a Nazi?
Take a look at the tip of this pen for me.
You better not
And
fuck this
follow
up.
it with your eyes and only your eyes. Do you
You better not
understand?
fuck this up.
Delta 14 is available. Can you respond? Number 14.
I got a red baseball bat.
65,
I painted circles on it with a Sharpie. I'll stand in front of you, spin it clockwise if you fuck this up. You know what happens next.
Are you threatening me?
I'm keeping you in check because you're a Nazi.
Alright, man.
I want to see some hair. I want to see some hair.
Here's what we're going to do. We're going to go through the walk and turn, okay?
Alright. So,
Base.
We're not going to stand out here all night.
alright, so going back to the beginning. This guy's making all kinds of threats. And sometimes drunk people do that. They'll make, bullshit remarks here and there. And they're not about it, They're just talking shit. But you don't really ever know for sure which person's talking shit, and it'll just stay at that, and which person's talking shit, and then they will just randomly do something. Generally, for the most part, the people who run their mouth don't really do much of anything. They might do something small, but as far as going toe to toe, no, they're not. They're not about that life. They're little bitches. But nonetheless, he's making these threats, and I think it would be important for that backup officer back there to at least have maybe a taser out. Maybe not have it switched on and the laser pointing and everything, but to at least maybe either have his hand on his taser, unsnap the retention on it, have it pulled out some. He can even have it covertly drawn and then have it behind his leg. That way, the minute this dude starts doing something, boom, pop him in the back with taser, and that's the greatest thing. The quicker you can get that taser deployment, the better. He's going to do the eye test. The eye test is the HGN, horizontal gaze nystagmus. So your eyes basically make twitches. And when a person is impaired, you can see some of this quivering in the eyes. And so I want to play this again so you can kind of see his eyes. The best way I guess I could describe it would be under normal conditions, when you use your windshield wipers during rain, it makes a smooth wiping across your windshield. And when it's dry out, it's not raining, and you accidentally turn your wipers on, the wipers can make that kind of like a Morse code, so to speak, like a little dotting as it slides and there's friction across the windshield. So if you ever turn your windshield wipers on when it's not raining and you see it kind of doing that little quivering thing across the windshield as it's sliding across a dry, non-slick surface, that's kind of what the eyes are doing in a sense. So under normal conditions, a person will have very smooth eye movement, very fluid. When they're intoxicated, their eyes can do that kind of movement. So just pay attention to his eyes, and you'll kind of pick that up and see what's going on there.
You understand that if you refuse to do these exercises, you're going to go to jail.
Do you understand that you look like a Nazi?
Take a look at the tip of this pen for me.
You better not
and
fuck this
follow
up.
it with your eyes and only your eyes. Do you
You better
understand?
not fuck this up.
So you could see it. It was like a choot, 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 choot. And there's like 3 little quivers there.
Seatbelt 14 is available. Can you respond to
Another thing to note for some people, he has the front of his light bar turned off, and this can be an important thing. A defense attorney could say that, you know, this was causing issues with him or whatever. So a lot of times you'll see officers turn their front lights off and just have rear lights on. Or when somebody else gets there, they'll turn their lights off completely, and then they'll have that one car that's further back have its rear flashers on so that there's a minimal amount of light being flashed.
I got a red baseball bat. I painted circles on it with a Sharpie. I'll stand in front of you, spinning clockwise, if you fuck this up. You know what happens next.
Are you threatening me?
I'm keeping you in check because you're a Nazi.
Alright, man.
I want to see some hair. I want to see some hair.
Here's what we're going to do. We're going to go through the walk and turn, okay? I'm going to have you walk to... I'd like to do it in front of my car.
I bet you if I killed you right now, they'd give me a medal.
Oh, yeah?
They'd give me a medal. They would call me a
I'm just going to
hero.
move my car over. Just have him... The what?
Just the one way. I don't know.
I mean, we've got room for it on this line.
This is slope, plus the traffic's trying to get through. So.
Oh, they can get by. This is level, plenty level for me, so. Alright, sir, here's what we're gonna do. Come down here for me, please. Stand in the back area of your car there. Try not to lean on it. Just right here on this line. Alright, for this exercise, I'm gonna ask that you walk this line, heel to toe, and I'm gonna demonstrate the position I'd like you to be in, okay? For this exercise, I'd like you to place your left foot on the line. You're going to use the yellow line there. You're going to take your right foot, place it in front of it, heel to toe, hands down by your side. Now, while I go over the instructions and I demonstrate for you, I'd like you to maintain that position. And don't start until I tell you to, okay?
Me versus you.
Can you go ahead and get in position for me?
Me versus you, man.
Let me know if you have any questions.
At this point in time...
Put your left foot on the line for me.
At this point in time, I don't care if you do this shit straight, man. I'm coming after you.
And then put your right foot in front of it, heel to toe. Alright,
You
hands...
should be afraid of me right now.
Hands down by your side and maintain that position until I tell you to start the exercise.
Listen to the sound of a taser in your ear.
Do you have any questions? Alright, for this exercise, I'm going to ask that you take 9 heel to toe steps following this yellow line. On the 9th step, you're going to take a series of small turns until you
Normal people
are back
can't
in this
do that. Give me
position.
something simple. What do you want me
And
to
then
do?
you count 9 heel to toe steps back in the direction you came from. It'll look something like this. 1, 2, 3, until you get to 9. You'll take a series of small steps
No.
back to the starting position and count out loud.
Doesn't matter which one I put it on?
2, 3, until you get to 9.
See how you didn't explain it? I'm gonna find you.
What's your question, sir?
I'm gonna find you.
Do you have any questions?
I'm gonna find you.
That's not what I'm asking you. Do you have any questions?
Just the sound of a taser in your ear, how does that make you feel?
You may begin the exercise, sir, if you don't have any questions.
So this one is a test designed to check their attention span and give them tasks to perform. So they're having to listen to those verbal instructions, watch the demonstration, and then complete that test. There's 8 indicators of impairment. So while he is trying to do this, the officer is observing him. So while he's giving the instructions, the officer is observing him for the person being able to keep their balance while giving those instructions. And so even when he sees that he's not keeping his balance, he's keeping a mental checklist in his head. Or some people will have a notepad in front of them and they'll write something on there. But that would be the first indicator right there. Boom. He's not able to keep his balance during this test. The other ones will be if they start too soon. They're trying to start it while giving directions or whatever. If they stop while they're walking, so if they stop at any point, that's an indicator. If they don't touch heel to toe, that's another one. If they step off that line, that's one. They're using their arms to balance, holding them out, kind of like someone walking across a beam or something like that. Performing improper turns or turning incorrectly. So if they don't do the small series of turns or whatever, that could count against them. Or taking too few steps or too many steps would be another indicator for impairment there.
Remember, count out loud, and if you step off the line, continue.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And you want me to do what now? You took 4. Don't judge me with your silence. What do you want me to do now?
You said you didn't have any questions.
That was not a question. That was a command.
Remember, continue the exercise until it's complete, sir.
You didn't demonstrate the exercise.
I demonstrated for you.
You took 4 paces. I clarified that. What do you want me to do now?
A series of small turns. You'll get back to the original position you started in and count 9 heel-to-toe steps back.
10-4. Delta 14 units to 4 to 6. 7. Take 328 units to 4 to 6. 10-4.
11. All right, sir. Say that again.
1 lane now.
Yep. Let's walk just in front of my car a little bit more. I'm going to have you get right here, if you would. That'll work. Go ahead and place your heels and toes together. Hands down by your side.
You want me to do this thing?
Nope. Heels and toes together for me. Your toes together, sir. Good. Stay just like that. I'm going to demonstrate for you, okay? This is the one-leg stand. What I'm going to ask you to do is keeping your hands down by your side. I'm going to ask you, and you can pick either foot. The foot of your choosing. I'm going to ask you to raise it approximately 6 to 9 inches off the ground, just like this. I'm going to ask you to count out loud in a manner such as this.
I never practiced
1001, 1002, 1003, 1004, 1005, and so on until I tell you to stop, okay?
You're creating an illusion.
I'll be timing it. If you place your foot down, just simply pick it back up and continue until I tell you to stop.
The same way you guys pretend you don't have small
Do you have
dicks
any
and that
questions,
you don't
sir?
have family in wheelchairs.
Do you have any questions, sir?
That's the same way you just pretend that like that's normal.
I just did it. Would you like me to demonstrate again for you?
Yeah, I know. And you're pretending you don't got a small dick and you're pretending you don't got family in
Do you have any
wheelchairs.
questions, sir?
It doesn't matter if I have questions. Just stay with my...
You may begin.
What do you want me to do?
Would you like me to demonstrate again for you?
I don't want you to demonstrate. I just want you to tell me.
Okay. You're going to raise the foot of your choosing approximately 6 to 9 inches off of the ground, keeping it parallel with the ground, and count out loud 1001, 1002, 1003, and so on until I tell you to stop.
Well, that's not fair because I was never really a balanced kind of guy. I'm a rapper.
Okay.
You know, I'm an intellectual.
You may begin.
Physics was never my thing.
We just worked through this, man. We're almost...
I don't think anything academic was your thing, bud.
You just want to do this?
We're almost finished. Once we do this, we're finished up.
And then what?
You may begin.
How long?
Until I tell you to stop. I'll be timing it. Remember, if you place your foot down, just continue.
So what he's going to be looking for here is 4 indicators. One, if he's going to be swaying, using his arms for balance, you know, still, you know, kind of like walking across a, you know, a little beam or whatever. If they're hopping while doing this, or they end up putting their foot down. So you can kind of see the swing right there, foot going down.
You can stop. All right, sir. Do me a favor.
All right. So this officer has demonstrated a lot of patience and restraint when dealing with this guy. He is administering these standardized field sobriety tests to be able to build that probable cause to arrest for DUI. And if he had skipped this part, you know, when the guy started making threats and doing all this stuff, if he had immediately just started to cuff him up or whatever, then he could lose that ability to have a successful conviction for DUI. Because he wouldn't have built that probable cause to be able to arrest him for that, and then to get him to submit to a blood test or a breath test. So he showed a lot of restraint, a lot of patience, got this test administered, got this guy to perform it, and it's all captured on video, and he's got a backup there witnessing it. So they observed enough indicators there to have probable cause to make that arrest for DUI. Then at this point, he'll either go to the hospital, get a blood draw, or go to the jail and do a breath test. Or some states, they have some people who have breath test machines in the back of the car. But a lot of other places, they have the breath test machine there at the county jail. Some will even have it at the police station, so they may have to go to the police station and do it there and then go to the jail. So one of those two will happen after this. But if he had not done this, like I said, he would lose that probable cause to do that. And that could be a big thing when it comes to a criminal case for DUI. These standardized field sobriety tests are challenged all the time in court. And here locally, one of our former, well, he's former now. He was a city commissioner. At the time, I think he was a city commissioner at the time. I can't remember. It's been so long, but we had a city commissioner. He's not a city commissioner now. And he ended up getting pulled over and arrested for DUI. Of course, you know, he had turned up and had a decent attorney, and it went through a long court process. Took a long time, I think, for it to even get to the trial process. Finally got there, and the attorney challenged it and brought up his knee problems. Apparently has knee problems. Brought that up, and that was a reason for him failing part of the field sobriety test, is because of his bad knees. And successfully argued that, and court said that because the test, or because of the way that test was done, it shouldn't have been counted due to his knees and everything, that the officer did not really establish probable cause to make that arrest, and then therefore other evidence was now inadmissible, such as his blood test. I think that's how that played out. So it's very important to get this right. Ask them questions, do you, if you had too much caffeine to drink, that would, be one of the eye things. Ask them if they have any eye problems or anything like that. Knee problems, back problems, if they're overweight. And I think that was another thing too for that commissioner. He's obese and he had knee problems, or maybe his foot problems he had. Something wrong with his lower extremities. But ask him those questions. That way you can have that out ahead of time and be able to account for those things. But anyway, this officer, or this deputy, has observed enough failures in this test, and he's established his probable cause to make this arrest for DUI. He's already got probable cause for other stuff, like this guy threatening him and everything. He could have, that's going to obviously be added to it.
Stop. All right, sir. Do me a favor. Turn around. You're being placed under arrest for DUI. Okay? I'm going to double lock these so they don't tighten up on you, all right?
So double locking cuffs, basically what that does is it prevents the cuff from closing anymore. So, the little ratchet thing that goes around and clicks in place, and you hear go as you tighten the cuff on someone, you can actually lock that and prevent it from going any further. And that's done to make sure that once they sit down, they don't press into it and cause those cuffs to tighten and then cause constriction for blood flow and cause problems from there.
Over here. Walk over here to my car for me. Do you have anything on you illegal? If you take it into the jail, it'll be an extra charge. Here for me. If you tell us now, we'll work it out here on the side of the road.
You'll work it out here on the side of the road?
Yeah. You'll still be charged with it, but you won't get an additional charge for taking it into the jail.
So what he's talking about, if he has drugs on him and he doesn't tell anybody about it, and he gets inside that jail, that's a promoting contraband charge. At least that's what it's called here in Kentucky. It may be called the same down there in Florida. I'm not really sure. But that can be an extra charge. Trying to basically smuggle contraband into a correctional facility. That in and of itself is a charge. It's not just possession of the drugs. It's you're trying to smuggle this stuff into this controlled facility. A lot of people end up getting that charge. They think they can keep stuff hidden on them. They get to the jail, and jails, well, some jails can be pretty good at pat downs. Others, they have some people working who are, they don't do a good job. They don't do a good pat down. Same with street officers. There's street officers who do good pat downs, and there's some who don't. But generally, the stuff is found at jail because they end up having to empty out all their pockets, and then they end up having to change out of their street clothes and put on a jail outfit, a jumpsuit or like scrub pants and a scrub top or whatever. And during this process, usually the drugs can be found. So unless they've got it tucked in, between their butt cheeks or something like that, the only way to find that is during a strip search. And depending on what's going on, a lot of times it's not standard for a strip search to be done. There has to be a reason for it. If they got caught with drugs and they still had some more concealed on them, then just the fact that they had a drug-related charge or arrest, once they get to the jail, a lot of jails will have it in their policies that anybody arrested for drugs and stuff like that gets strip searched. Because usually, if you find some amount of drugs on somebody, there's bound to be some more drugs on them. And oftentimes they stick it between their butt cheeks and they think it'll never get found, but it does.
Let me check my pockets.
Well, we're gonna check them for you. But if it's concealed or anything like that,
Will you ask me a question?
don't reach in your pockets. If you've got any kind of drugs or anything concealed on you, okay, we can deal with it now. You'll get charged for it, but you don't sneak it into the jail where you're gonna
Man,
get
y'all
an
are
extra charge.
ass fuckers, dog. I was just fucking hanging out, man.
Dude, you're about to get on the interstate like this, man. You're lucky you didn't kill yourself or someone else.
I didn't break the fucking law. I'm getting home. What do you want me to do? Camp out here? I don't got my phone on me.
Where are you from?
Tampa.
Where are you heading? Are you going back to Tampa?
USF area.
Or are you going back to Tampa?
Yeah.
Okay. You're going northbound on the interstate, right? Tampa's southbound.
I just did a U-turn too, man. I've been waiting for the signs too. I was looking for the signs. Your signs are spread out hard as fuck. Especially in that car, man.
Do you have anything on you at all, sir? Anything on you at all?
I'm gonna find both of you and I'm gonna fuck your lives up. Okay. You know what Andres Orjuela means?
If I had $1 for every time someone told me they was going to fuck me up, shoot me, stab me, kill me, fuck my mom, fuck my girlfriend, wife, kids, kill them, whatever. If I had $1 for every time someone said that to me, I'd be sitting pretty damn good. Lots of people will run that fucking mouth, man. They are shit-talking motherfuckers. And if you were to take the cuffs off of them, they wouldn't do anything.
You're mad calm right now, man. You're gonna regret that shit. You know that, right? This isn't your fucking territory. This isn't your fucking territory. I'd be sweeping floors. You don't give me fucking shit. Don't pull.
So he's got an evidence bag. Just because it says evidence on it, it doesn't mean that he's collecting this stuff as evidence. A lot of times evidence bags are just used as like a drop pouch, so to speak, or like a property bag. They just put their belongings in them. That way they don't have them on them while they're in the back seat. So just because, like I said, just because it says evidence on it doesn't mean it's going to be, collected and put away as evidence. He's just using it as basically a storage bag.
Y'all pull me out of my fucking car. Y'all pull me out of my fucking car. Y'all pull me out of my fucking car for what?
Talk about fucking rage coming over you when somebody spits on you. Oh, man.
You don't give me fucking shit. Y'all pull me out of my fucking car. Y'all pull me.
Yeah, that. Yeah. And unfortunately, this is how some people get caught up with excessive force. They go a little bit more on force than what they should. Now, they end up using force on him, but they use the appropriate amount of force. They don't go overboard with it. They don't be excessive with it. But that can be really hard to keep that reeled in when somebody spits right in your face like that. Just the physical attack of it, you know, like someone, it's more than someone punching you. It really is. You know, taking a punch to the face is not as enraging as being spit in the face. So that's extremely hard to keep those responses in check. There have been some people who, once they spit, they got the fucking shit beat out of them. Good, bad, whatever you got to say about it. Yeah, it can be difficult to keep it reeled in.
Alright. Yo, pull me out of my fucking corner for what?
But basically, once they do, what they do is they flex his arms up, and that forces his face to go to the hood of the vehicle, and then that limits his ability to keep his head more vertical and control where he can spit at. So this is a pretty good technique for controlling them. One thing I've done and I like to do is grab right there between the cuffs and just fucking like flex them, like, you know, like the handlebar on a motorcycle, you know, where you just torque it or whatever to get power. Just fucking sorry, just torque like that on the cuffs, and that will dig those bracelets right into the radius and the ulna bone, and boy, that shit fucking hurts. You can flex that and push up on the arms, and you can get pretty good compliance over someone like that.
Marion, 575-44.
What?
Oh, do you have a mask? Do you have a mask?
You're pouring on my fucking cup.
Just give me a second.
65-69.
So he's talking about a mask. He's talking about a spit mask. So basically what a spit mask is it looks sort of like a hairnet that you would see food workers wearing. So someone working in a kitchen, working in fast food, they got that little hairnet on. It's just basically like a mesh hood that you can pull over someone's face. And when they spit, it contains it all within the spit hood itself. Now, a lot of them will have a material, sort of like a mask, just like a COVID mask or something like that, right? It'll have a material around the bottom part of it that would be around the mouth and nose area, but the whole rest of the contraption is made out of that thin, kind of meshy type of material. And like I said, it's just meant so that when they start spitting, it's contained within the thing itself. Fully breathe through it, no problem whatsoever. It's not like putting a plastic bag over someone's head or anything like that. So there's no way for them to suffocate on it or anything like that. It just contains all the bodily fluids that they try to spit out.
64-61, 1046. Sorry. Where you have traffic?
Is this it?
Lift up my shit, check my back.
Right? No?
Lift up my shit, check my back.
No, this is...
Just so you know who you're...
So this looks like what do they call it? A spill kit. Like something you would put on for cleaning up blood and stuff. So it looks like a little Tyvek gown kind of thing, gloves and the booties. It could have a head net thing on it, or in it. And if it did have a head net thing, then I think that would be somewhat okay to be able to use on this guy. It's not going to stay on as good as a spit mask hood, but it could certainly be put on him. I think, you know, the spit hood stuff, things like that should be kept more easily accessible. Either have them, well, in this vehicle it wouldn't work, but let's say like a car, like a Charger or a Taurus, or even ones who have still Crown Vics rolling around. Setting a couple of those in the back deck, in the back windshield. Like that would be a good place to set a couple of them. That way if someone starts getting stupid, boom, it's already right there back in the cage where they're going to be at anyway, and it's an easy way to remember getting that. Some people put their hats and stuff back there, like the patrol cap, little, more uniform brim hat or whatever. But that would be a good place to put those. Or in this vehicle, maybe stuff some behind the headrest or something like that. Some people put other stuff behind those headrests, clipboards, stuff like that. But I would think that the best place, to do it would be, leave one sitting in the cage area. That way, that's going to be used for people in there. But just have it, more easily accessible. Keeping it in the storage area, like the trunk or the cargo hold of a vehicle, you're just going to have so much stuff to rummage through and try and get this shit that it's going to be hard to get to. And especially with someone who's fighting like that, you don't want to be rummaging around for stuff. Like, you want it very easily grabbable, something you can get really quick, because if they're fucking going stupid, you need to do this as quick as possible, not be spending minutes rummaging through the trunk looking for the thing.
There's a unit nearby with a spit mask that could respond.
Fucking believe
I
me,
can't
bitch.
find one.
You should have
People
quit.
searching good?
No. You should have fucking quit, you fucking pig. You should have fucking quit.
I can't find one. You have one?
How calm you are, bitch. Andres Orjuela, Argentina, motherfucker. Political refugee, bitch. Political refugee. I'm talking magic, motherfucker. The Messiah. The Messiah, motherfucker. I'm gonna make you starve, your family starve. What do you got, kids? A wife? A daughter? A sister? A son? I'm gonna break their fucking legs, dog. I'm gonna fucking rape them in front of you, fucking pig.
I have a lot of people fucking threaten that. Rape my family members, etc. Like I said, if I had $1 for every time someone says some shit like that to me, I'd be sitting pretty damn good. And I've even run into people out in the streets who said that shit to me when I was in uniform. And I was out of uniform. Didn't look like I had anything on me, obviously, but you would think that, here he is, he's not in uniform, I'll fucking get him now. Nope. They still won't do shit. They just little shit talking bitches. That's what the majority of them are.
You should have just left it at some fucking wheels, bitch. You should have gave me a ride home, you fucking pig, you nasty fucking pig.
What?
Instead, you want to fuck with my fucking car.
Alright, so real quick, this tourniquet that he has on him. Number one, I applaud the fact that he's carrying a tourniquet on him. Not a lot of people will carry medical gear on them. Tourniquets are one of those things that's becoming a more, I don't want to say popular thing to carry, but you're starting to see more officers carry them than what you have in the past. It's great that he's carrying that thing, but one thing I have to say is this retention strap, the little Velcro tab that goes across the top once you put the windlass inside the little bracket. That is to, one, keep that little windlass from popping out of the bracket once you get it in place. And two, it's a place for you to ride onto it at. The best way for this thing to be managed and stored is not in the closed fashion right there. Is actually to have the side that you can peel off, have it on the side where it's sewn in at, and basically leave that bracket open. So that way when you pull this thing out to use it, you tighten it up on someone, then you can just pop the windlass within that bracket and then stretch the retention thing across and Velcro it in place. Otherwise, with it in place like this, and you tighten down the windlass on someone, and then you go to put it in the bracket, now you're going to have to fuck with that retention strap, and that's not what you want. Now, if you're putting on someone else, that's not a big deal, because while you're holding on to the windlass, you can use your other hand to just undo it. But what if you're applying this to yourself, to your arm? Let's say you got shot in your, let's make it easy for you. Let's say you got shot in your non-dominant arm. I mean, you still have better dexterity and tactile and use of your dominant hand. Even with the benefit of you being able to use your dominant hand, when you tighten that windlass up, it's going to be very difficult for you to hold that windlass, maintain that pressure, and then try to pull that Velcro tab backwards to put the windlass in this little bracket. All right? So this little Velcro tab needs to be stored in the open position, not in the closed position. All right, moving on.
Instead, you fuck with my fucking cuffs. This is my world.
Listen, stop spitting,
This is my
man.
fucking world, bitch. You quit
I wanna
fucking
get a
with my
mask.
cuffs, you faggot. You small dick fucking faggot. Quit fucking with my cuffs. Look at you.
All right, we're gonna put you in the
cuffs.
car, man. Let's not have any more issues out
Look
here,
at you
okay?
fucking with my fucking cuffs, dog. You should just give me a fucking ride, you fucking pig.
Stop spitting, sir. Like, seriously. Have a
Look at you
seat.
manhandling me,
Have
dog.
a seat.
Look at you manhandling me, dog. Look at you manhandling
Swing your
me,
feet
dog.
in.
Look at you manhandling me, dog.
Dude, really?
Look at you manhandling me, dog. Brute force. See the way you do it? See how it works? See how it works? See how the government works, dog? See how the government works? You gotta apply pressure.
And he has the turtle suit on as well. So anytime you see this green thing, some places they have yellow ones. These are sometimes referred to as a turtle suit, especially the green ones because it looks like a turtle. You may hear them referred to as the suicide smock or whatever. Their technical term is a humane smock. It's basically for people who indicate that they're suicidal. It's made of very thick material, so you can't rip it, right? Like you could take a jumpsuit, and when you think about clothes that are in a jail, these clothes are worn and washed a lot. So unless the jail has opened up a brand new box of clothes, most people are getting jumpsuits or the scrubs that have been very well worn down. And it can be very easy to rip that material and make strips and make a rope and hang yourself with it. This material is very thick. There's no fucking ripping it. You can wash that damn thing 1,000 times and it's not going to get thin enough to be able to easily rip it. So you can't rip it very well. And the points of contact on here are Velcro. So they couldn't even try to use the whole smock itself. It's like one big poncho sort of. So they couldn't even try to use most of it as a noose or anything like that. It'll just easily rip away because of the Velcro. And it's so thick with these points right here, you can't really tie it together to try and make a noose or ligature out of it or anything like that. It's the safest thing to put a suicidal person in. Typically, when someone goes into this thing, they are stripped down, butt naked. They don't even get to keep their underwear, and all they get is that and their flip-flops. And there is a blanket that can go with this. The blanket is made out of the same thick material. You can't rip it or anything like that. You can't even, like I said, you can't even tie it, together or anything. It's just so thick that you just can't do anything with it other than wear it or lay it on top of you. But there's like a big blanket thing. It's kind of like a sleeping bag of sorts that you can get. And that's what they put suicidal people in. So I'd imagine that once he got to the jail, he probably indicated that he was suicidal or something like that. A lot of people, when they get to jail, they'll say they're suicidal. And some people think that if they say, I'm only assuming that if they say they're suicidal, they think that means that they won't stay in jail very long. Someone's going to take sympathy on them and be like, "Oh, he's suicidal. Let's take him out of the jail. Let's put him somewhere else." That doesn't work. If you go to jail and you say you're suicidal, one, you're going to have the very embarrassing moment of having to strip down butt naked in front of someone else. And it's a strip search when this is done too, so I forgot to mention that. So probably what they did with him is they took him into the changing room and had him take all his clothes off right there in front of them. And then once he was fully naked, they went through the strip search process, having to open his mouth, lift his tongue, take his fingers into his mouth and pull his lips down and up to expose the gum areas, lift his hair and shake it very vigorously, pull his ears back to see behind those, lift his arms, see the armpits, and then bend over and bend at the waist and reach back with his hands and spread his buttocks to see between his butt, to see his anus, to see if there's anything hidden there. And then turn around and lift up his scrotum and his penis, and then drop his scrotum, hold his penis, and then drop his penis. If he has lots of foreskin, then he'd be asked to pull that foreskin back to expose what's in there, and then lift his feet up to see under his toes and stuff like that. So a strip search is very invasive. Just imagine having to stand in front of a complete stranger and get butt-ass naked, and then have to bend over and spread your butt cheeks and show them your asshole. That's got to be embarrassing as fuck. It really does. And humiliating too. But it has to be done, because if not, if he had a razor stuffed, in between his butt cheeks, and they put him in a cell, and he got that razor out and slit his wrist, guess what? Those people who booked him in, they're going to be named in a lawsuit. And then they're going to lose that lawsuit. And they're going to be fucked. Lots and lots of lawsuits. When it comes to law enforcement, there's a fuck ton of lawsuits against jails and prisons. Probably more so than lawsuits initiated against street cops. Jail cops, they get all kinds of fucking lawsuits, especially in prison, because they don't have anything better to do. That's their fun when it comes to prison, because if you start a lawsuit, guess what? You get to go to court. That means you get to leave the fucking prison. That breaks up that bullshit monotony. So a lot of them will file frivolous lawsuits just to give them something to do, fuck with staff because they think it's fun, and if it actually gains any traction, a lot of them are dismissed, because once legal people start looking at it, they're like, yeah, this is full of shit, and they'll dismiss it. But if it gains any traction, it goes anywhere, then they get to leave prison and go to court and have appearances and stuff like that. So that's extra fun for them. Actually going on a car is like going on a car ride, right? Like they get to look out the window of the bus or the van or whatever and see what's going on, and then go into the courtroom, and they get to see all these other people, and it's just, it's something new for them to do. So it's kind of like fun time. But lots of jails and prisons have a bunch of fucking lawsuits on them. And that's the reason why strip searches are done on suicidal people. Number one is to make sure that, they don't kill themselves. But ultimately, it's really to make sure that you don't get sued. Or at least you don't have a chance of having a successful lawsuit brought against you. A lot of stuff when it comes to public service is CYA, cover your ass. Making sure that you dot your I's and cross your T's so that no one can successfully sue you. And that's why some things are done the way they are. It may seem like bullshit, etc., but it's really those people. It's like playing chess. It's not checkers. It's chess, and you're just making these strategic moves basically to protect yourself. Anyway, like I said, this video, I saw this and I thought, you know what, this would be a pretty good video for people to watch and kind of see some stuff that a lot of people just don't see. Now, if you watch, shows like Cops and what was that other one, that Live PD? I think that's what it's called. If you watch stuff like that, you've probably maybe seen some stuff like this. But if not, if you don't regularly watch those things, then these are the kind of people that public servants run into a whole lot. It's not like it's every single day or anything like that, but you'd be surprised about how many people are like this out there, and what they're like. And then just imagine, so that's the street cops coming into random contact with people, right? So not every single person that they come into contact is going to be like this. Sometimes they run into people and they're great people, they're respectful, they're nice, just good people, right? Sometimes people, make a little mistake, running a stop sign or something like that, or sometimes people are incorrectly stopped because they matched a description of something, and it wasn't them, whatever. But then people like this, of course, people like this are going to go to jail. So imagine jails and prisons when the bulk of the people in them are people like this. Yeah. Imagine 20 motherfuckers like this in a jail. So if you think the street cops and everything have a bad time, just imagine what those jailers got to deal with, what those correctional prison officers have to deal with. They got to deal with this shit every single fucking day. Every day. Not every day a street cop has to deal with someone like this, but your jail and prison guys and girls, they got to deal with people like this all the fucking time. Anyway, if you like what you hear and see, go ahead and give me a like and a share. If you have not already, hit that subscribe button and stay tuned for more Monday quarterback videos. Earl Henderson, Primordial Defense. Thank you for watching.